You know that sensation. You step outside with your egg basket, brimming with hope toward the chicken coop. And all you hear is clicking. No egg, not even one of them. It's as though the hens held a covert conference and decided they were all skipping the day off, without first consulting you. Believe me, those mornings hurt somewhat. The good news, though, is that you are not alone. Even seasoned farmers have those. Where are the eggs? Kind of mornings. Even seasoned farmers have those. Where are the eggs? Kind of mornings. Believe it or not, chickens can be cranky little creatures, like feathered teenagers, getting them to lay eggs regularly. At times it seems like attempting to get a cat to take a bath. Shorter daylight throughout fall and winter is one of the main causes hens cease laying. To maintain their internal egg-laying engine operating, chickens require roughly 14 to 16 hours of light. Without enough sun, it's like their batteries run low. Imagine them as little solar-powered machines. Less sunlight, less eggs. It's that easy. Then there's molting. Like they are getting ready for a red carpet event, hens once a year lose their feathers and develop in new ones. It's untidy and sluggish, and during such period, laying eggs falls significantly. Their whole attention is on feather regrowth. It's their take on a lengthy spa day, except it may last a month or more, and it's never only one hen. Out of nowhere, a complete coop of divas on feather-filled holiday appears. But hold on, there's more. Chickens are choosy. A barking dog, a squeaky coop door, a crowded nesting box. Even a rooster that's a bit too raucous in the morning can throw them off their rhythm. Until I repaired a noisy hinge on the coop door, I once owned a hen who flat out refused to lay eggs. 2 days following my oiling it, boom, egg, just like clockwork. Chickens, I say. Occasionally it seems as though they desire a throne and room service, and sure, I have erred as well. One winter I assumed more corn equated to greater energy, which meant more eggs, correct? Not correct. My hens didn't start laying more. They simply became sluggish and overweight. It was as though I had made them puffy couch potatoes. Too many carbs, like maize or leftover bread, turns chickens lazy and overweight, it seems. They want gasoline, not fast food. What they actually want is protein. One year I offered them mealworms during molting. They ran to the nesting boxes as if clocking into work. Protein builds eggs and feathers. Believe me, a little goes a long way. It's like rewarding them at their job. Out of nowhere, everyone is productive. I took much too long to discover that grains and kitchen waste could please hens, but not good for them. Sure, carbs give them energy, but not the sort they require to produce eggs. Too much grain, and they cease to produce. It's like attempting to accomplish anything following a large Thanksgiving meal. You might, but would you? The secret is hence balance. A little corn in winter is fine, especially given chickens waste more energy maintaining warmth, but it cannot be the main menu. With some greens, mealworms, and the rare treat, their diet should be constructed around high-protein meals. Feed them as you desire outcomes, not merely as you want to empty the fridge. Now, let's discuss grit. Without teeth, chickens consume small stones known as grit to digest food. These stones enter their gizzards. Like a natural blender, that grit grinds up their food, seeds, grains, leftovers. Improved digestion results in improved nutrition. Better nutrition leads to, you guessed it, more eggs. The Amish are well aware of this. They constantly have unresolvable grit lying about, little stones that remain in the gizzard and support every meal. Some novices confuse oyster shells with grit. But really, that's a calcium supplement, not a grinder. Imagine it like mixing coffee with toothpaste. They both come in tubes, but you wouldn't want to mix them. My hens first saw grit as if I had gone crazy. A few days later, however, they were more active. Their meal was not being wasted, and sure, eggs began to appear once more. Just as that. One more advice. Should your hens free range, they will frequently discover their own grit in the wild. But if they're caged up for winter or during storms, you have to bring it to them. The Amish never overlook specifics like these. They understand that even something as unglamorous as gravel can make all the difference. Don't worry if you've been looking at vacant nesting boxes. Look at their illumination. Monitor their diet. Add some roughness, and be tolerant. Those hens will return to work with the correct treatment. Breakfast will return to the table. You know that sensation when you leave for the coop, egg basket in hand, brimming with hope, and all you receive is a whole bunch of clucking and not one egg. Indeed, those mornings are difficult. It's as though your chickens went on vacation unannounced. But come on, you're not alone if your empty basket has been walking back from the coop. Even experienced farmers can be perplexed by unexpected egg strikes from their chickens. Chickens can be odd, tiny animals. Sometimes they are moodier than teens, and getting them to lie can seem like attempting to wash a cat. One of the main why your hens could stop laying. Daylight, or more rather, its absence. Chickens are essentially solar-powered. Egg output declines or ceases entirely when winter arrives and the sun begins to vanish earlier and earlier. With the sunset, it's as though their internal egg clock turns off. Then there is molting. Hens once a year lose their old feathers and gain new ones. It's as though they're resetting their clothes. Feathers all throughout. No eggs seen. It's their take on a spa getaway. Only it lasts a month and calls for no work. The catch? They all appear to shed simultaneously. One minute you have a full basket every day. The next, it's nothing but feathers flying and your breakfast arrangements disintegrating. But there is more. Chickens are choosy. Their environment, tiny modifications could upset them. A boisterous dog, congested nesting boxes, or even a creaking coop door can all disturb the laying pattern. Once I had a hen who simply wouldn't lay since the coop door rattled. I repaired the hinge. 2 days later, eggs began to appear once more. I swear she believed she was royal. I now confess I have erred a lot attempting to solve the issue. One winter I thought doubling up on maize would help. More eggs, more food, correct? Not true. The hens simply grew lazy and fat. I essentially built a flock of fluffy freeloaders on a carb binge. No ovum. Simply naps. But the day I fed them mealworms instead, revolutionary. They behaved as though I were distributing golden tickets. They raced straight to the nesting boxes, and just like that, the eggs were back. Feeding chickens is not only about throwing them some bread or corn. That's like letting children have cake for dinner. Yes, they're full, but they're not healthy. Too many carbohydrates and not enough protein will make your chickens lazy and unproductive. Hens who are overweight do not lay well. Carrying all that additional weight strains their bodies. Imagine attempting to run after a massive holiday dinner. Of course, you could, but would you? I discovered the difficult way that chickens require equilibrium. Especially in chilly weather, a little bit of maize is acceptable. Not as the main course, though. High-protein, nutrient-dense diet is what they actually require to maintain their body in egg-laying condition. Many people ignore this interesting truth. Chickens require grit. Actually, little stones. Chickens lack teeth, hence they consume grit, to aid in the breakdown of their meal in the gizzard. Imagine it like a mixer from nature. Lack of grit prevents them from fully digesting their meal, which results in less nutrients and less eggs. The Amish understand this. Especially when the flock cannot graze throughout winter, they constantly ensure their hens have access to grit. It's up to you if free-range birds are pent up. Otherwise, they may find it on their own. And not just any grit. Amish farmers employ insoluble grit, the sort that remains in the gizzard and continues to function. Oyster shell? Those are really more for calcium and disintegrate over time. Helpful indeed, but not a substitute. The first time I included appropriate grit springs to me. Initially, the hens stared at the little rocks as though I had gone crazy. But not long after, their vitality increased, food stopped being wasted, and boom, eggs started coming in again. As if turning a switch. Natural vitamins are your best bet if you genuinely want to improve their health the Amish way. Just ordinary items you most likely own at home, nothing extravagant. Vinegar from apple cider? 1 spoonful for every gallon of water. It helps hens stay hydrated, promotes digestion, and keeps diseases away. I began using it, and believe me, my egg count shot up nearly overnight. Another hidden weapon is garlic. A clove or two in the feed now and again boosts the immune system and makes them less attractive to parasites. I assumed my chickens would turn it down, but no. They devoured it as though getting ready for a garlic festival. Herbs such as oregano, thyme, and parsley are like natural medicine. Rich in antioxidants, they help the immune system and, say some Amish farmers, even promote laying. The first time I threw in some fresh herbs, my hens strutted about as though they were on a culinary program. Then there is the protein increase. Hens require protein to develop new feathers and finally return to laying during molting season particularly. The Amish depend on natural add-ins like mealworms and black army fly larvae. In addition to high protein feed, 16 to 18%. Hens go crazy for them as if it were a feeding frenzy. So it's not the most attractive sight, but it works. I have even scrambled stale eggs for my hens. I know that seems strange, but they enjoyed it and were back to resting quicker than I had thought. The Amish are unique in how they change their food all year round. They avoid gimmicks or store-bought enhancers. To keep things interesting, they utilize leftover dairy, vegetable scraps, and greens. Bored hens are lazy hens. Throw in some sunflower seeds every now and then. It's almost like surprising them with a gift. Rich in healthful lipids and protein, those seeds are egg-laying gold. However, much good could have negative effects. Once I went overboard with mealworms and found myself with fat hens waddling about, more resembling feathered marshmallows than egg layers. Lesson learned. Everything is balance. The Amish treat their hens like family members. They don't overfeed, they don't skimp. Even in the thick of winter, happy, healthy hens equal more eggs. Don't worry then if your chickens are on strike. Examine their eating habits. Examine the illumination. Include some grit. Add a few herbs here and there. A few mealworms won't harm either. And keep in mind, eggs are not magical. They're the product of a little bit of chicken psychology, balance, and care. Just ask them. Chickens are the queens of summer snacking. On a hot day, give a hen a piece of watermelon, and you will have immediate fun. Its finest way is messy, refreshing, and moisturizing. Pro advice, though, don't go crazy. One July, I went a bit watermelon crazy. The chickens were so busy pecking through the juicy mess, they entirely forgot their nesting boxes for the day. No egg. Lesson learned. Even chickens slow off following dessert. The actual surprise superstar in the treat roster now. Pumpkin chickens love it, and it's not only delicious, but also useful. The Amish have known this for ages. In the autumn, they split open pumpkins and let the flock go to town. It's like a backyard harvest fair, except with feathers. The brilliant part is that pumpkin seeds are a natural dewormer. Heading into winter, it keeps the flock healthy. No chemicals, no bother. Seeing a group of chickens plunge into a pumpkin is both funny and strangely gratifying. It's a food battle meets agricultural life. Naturally, none of these goodies take the place of a decent, balanced diet. The Amish utilize snacks to increase egg production rather than to ruin the flock. It's just like raising children. Give them candy before dinner, and suddenly, vegetables becomes the foe. Chickens are the same. A hen addicted to goodies could begin to see her feed bowl as a child confronting vegetables. But what if you find the correct balance? The outcomes appear where it matters most, in the nest box. Hens who swagger around as though they realize they're doing a good job, healthier shells, and more eggs. Yes, I have seen a hen appear smug after eating seasonal fruit and gourmet greens. Who would not? A few wise decisions get the hens back to work, laying as if it were their full-time job. Not every hen, however, can be a rock star forever. The Amish even know when their feathered ladies should clock out. Usually a hen lays strong for 2 to 3 years. Production declines after that, occasionally from 5 eggs per week to almost 1. That's not a failure, it's biology. The Amish keep a watchful eye on their flocks. They rotate in fresh hens to maintain smooth operation when output declines. It's like understanding when your old car's check engine light indicates it's time to stop spending money and go on. Older hens are not simply discarded. No waste in this. Often they turn into stew meat. And believe me, a broth produced from a well-loved farm hen is really unique. I think back on my hen, Mildred. She strutted around as though she owned the room and stopped laying. She wasn't contributing much, but when she eventually entered the stew pot. So thick was that broth that it seemed like a loving embrace from a rustic kitchen. It's pragmatic, not callous. The Amish have perfected the equilibrium between respect and efficiency. No hen spa day, simply honest rural life. To be honest, I believe even the hens know when to retire. They get this expression in their eyes like, "I've done my time. Porch life is what I want. I don't hold them responsible." Should I lay eggs continuously for 2 years, I would also desire a break. Retiring old chickens is not only about preparing soup. It also helps to maintain the health of the whole flock. Older chickens can experience problems that stress the younger ones. What about hens under stress? Their egg production is lower. The Amish thus cycle in new hens while the old girls have their golden weeks. Or, well, days. No guilt, no drama. Simply clever flock management. Always a young hen prepared to take the plate. Or in this instance, the nesting box. Chickens, after all, are not so unlike people. Everyone has a task to complete. No one can labor for all time. Now let us discuss the hens. Place of employment, the co-op. You might assume hens would lay eggs any place, but no, they have criteria. A filthy coop? That's not acceptable. The Amish understand. Like it's the Ritz-Carlton, they maintain their chicken coops clean by scooping droppings, changing bedding, and staying on top of it. It's not only for appearance. A clean coop means less diseases, and a healthy hen is a laying hen. Hens may cease laying completely if the nesting environment is filthy. I once neglected my coop for a few weeks. Huge error. My daughters stared at me as though I had reserved them a room at a dilapidated motel. I cleaned well, replaced old pine shavings with new ones, and just like that, eggs returned. Chickens are essentially picky house guests. Keep it clean and they'll stay. The Amish don't wait until it smells to replace bedding. They do it precisely. They understand that filthy, wet environments draw bacteria and parasites. When one bird becomes ill, it is like a feathered domino effect. What about good airflow and clean bedding? Crisis averted. Of course, it's more effort. But those additional eggs justify every scoop of filthy bedding. Funny enough, hens make me think of Grandma. Should the kitchen be untidy, she is not cooking. Same with chickens. Clean their area, and they will return to laying. Once my grandmother noticed the condition of my coop, she gave me that look. She nodded and remarked, "Now they'll start earning their keep when I clean it." And would you believe it? They certainly did. The moral of the tale. When in question, channel your inner grandmother. Amish farmers plan for eggs when winter comes, not just hope for them. They winterize the coop, provide insulation, and pull out warm bedding. A happy hen is a productive hen. Chickens like a warm, draft-free environment, just like humans do for soup when the snow flies. They lay when they are at ease. Chickens could appear basic, yet they have expectations when it comes to egg laying. What about winter? That's when they give up. Stress, molting, fewer days, and cold temperatures can all interfere with their egg-laying cycle. But how do the Amish maintain their hens laying like clockwork even in a snowstorm? Starting with the goodies. A summer favorite is refreshing, hydrating treats like watermelon. Just don't overdo it. One July, I let my daughters go to town on a large, juicy melon. They enjoyed it so much that for an entire day they forgot all about the nesting boxes. Lesson learned. After dessert, even chickens slack off. Now, here's a surprise star. Pumpkin. Amish farmers are adamant about it. Apart from being delicious, it's a natural dewormer. Every autumn, they split open pumpkins and let the hens feast as if it were an autumn celebration. Seeing hens plunge beak first into pumpkin guts is both funny and strangely gratifying. Treats are only that, treats. They don't take the place of the genuine items. Amish farmers are cautious not to overdo it. Balance is everything. Too many treats, and chickens begin to turn up their beaks at normal meal. It's like telling a child before supper to eat candy. Out of nowhere, a complete feed bowl, or broccoli in this situation, does not seem so wonderful. Your hens will thank you with more eggs, better eggs, and a bit more strut in their stride if you keep the treats clever. Not every hen is a rock star for all time. The Amish are aware of that. Usually, a healthy hen lays strong for 2 to 3 years. Then, productivity declines, from 5 eggs a week to perhaps 1. The Amish run their flocks like a well-oiled machine. Older chickens are replaced with younger ones when it is time, so guaranteeing the continuous flow of eggs. But rest assured, those elderly hens are not discarded. Often they are utilized for stew meat. And let me tell you, broth from a well-lived hen. That's a bowl of farm comfort. I recall when my ancient hen Mildred ceased laying. No eggs in sight, she walked about like royalty. But let us say she went out like a legend after her last soup offering. It's sensible, not cruel. Old hens can acquire health problems that might worry the younger flock. Stressed out hens produce less eggs. The Amish therefore let the elder ladies ease out while gradually rotating in fresh layers, therefore maintaining smooth operation. No fuss, no shame, simply good stewardship. Naturally, none of this functions if the hen house isn't immaculate. Amish farmers use their coops like opulent hotels, clean nest boxes, new bedding, and regularly scoop droppings. For what reason? Hens are more finicky than they seem. A filthy nesting site. That is a deal breaker. I found that the difficult way. Left my coop alone for too long, and the chickens protested. They were back at it once I cleaned it out and put fresh pine shavings in. It was if I had just received a 5-star rating. Happy hens, clean coop, more eggs. It's really that easy. In the winter, it is even more crucial. Hens use more energy, simply to stay warm. Hence, Amish farmers increase their diet. More protein, more fat. Even warm mash, higher fat cereals, and kitchen waste can have a significant impact. Should I nibble every snowfall, I'd be a champion at egg laying as well, assuming I were a chicken. And here is a little-known tip. Light. Hens sometimes cease laying with shorter days. Placing their coops to absorb every bit of brightness, the Amish maximize sunlight. Some even utilize light bulbs that simulate the sun, just enough to keep the girls believing it is still summer. It's a tropical getaway minus the flight cost. Still, even with all this attention, hens can become quite grumpy, especially during molting season. Hens cease laying and lose their feathers once a year. The Amish see this as natural for the cycle. But they don't simply wait. To help hasten things along, they increase the protein. Mealworms, black soldier fly larvae, even sunflower seeds. My first molting season resembled an explosion of pillow battle in the coop. Everywhere were feathers. Nowhere were eggs. What about the Amish? They stagger the molt so not all hens rest at once. It's like a relay team. Some resting, others going. That guarantees a new egg in the basket at all times. And let us not overlook the greatest egg-laying murderer of all: stress. Too much noise. Too little room. Overcrowding. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Amish farmers provide each hen her a comfortable nesting place, hence reducing coop chaos. Consider private rooms rather than communal dorms. I witnessed this directly. I enlarged my small coop, and boom, egg output soared. It seems hens value personal space nearly as much as teens. Happy hens can produce up to 30% more eggs than anxious ones. That's no laughing matter. The Amish understand. They combine ancient knowledge with straightforward practices: tidy surroundings, calm atmosphere, healthy cuisine. Consistency, not magic, is what it is. Though my hens may not live like kings, they are healthy, active, and unexpectedly happy even in the dead of winter. Just common sense and a bit of Amish inspiration. No heat lamps, no additives. So here's to the diligent farmers and the clucking women who maintain breakfast on the table. January eggs, it's not a miracle. It's simply the Amish way of doing things,